So we have a bunch of leaks today. Some of them weren't substantial enough to warrant a video yesterday, but I decided to start the video off with the leaks from yesterday, but the really big leaks are later on in the video, and they were provided by WikiLeaks. So to start off, we have some leaks from DC Leaks, and this is an organization like WikiLeaks. They're just not as well known, but these are perfectly legitimate leaks. And it shows how the media colluded with Correct the Record, which is sort of like a PAC for Hillary Clinton. They basically go online and defend her record. And these emails came from the chief of protocol, Capricia Marshall. I don't know if I pronounced her name right, but that's where the leaks came from. So the first big leak from the DC leaks were the Clinton campaign working with Bloomberg journalist on a Bernie hit piece. Basically, someone from the Clinton campaign was working with a Bloomberg journalist to try and get a hit on Bernie. This piece didn't actually come out, but it just shows you that they're all in this to promote or shill for the candidate of their choice. The next one is showing how the campaign also worked with a New York Times article. Basically, the New York Times was going to publish an article, but someone on the campaign didn't like it, so they worked with them to make the article more positive. So again, just another example of the media and campaigns working together. Now, this isn't a bad thing in itself. I mean, getting a quote or working with a campaign isn't inherently bad, but when they try to pass it off as unbiased, or when it's something big like the New York Times, I just don't think it's right. Anyways, moving on, it looks like the DC leaks also showed how the campaign wanted to get John Oliver for an event, and they also kind of roasted Aziz Ansari by saying he's not popular enough for the event. They were wanting to get celebrities, and they were looking at getting him, but they said that he's just not popular enough. And in the end, John Oliver turned down the event, but they were actually talking for a decent amount of time. Alright, so now for the really big stories. I think these are a lot more substantial. So the first one is that Hillary Clinton doesn't actually write her tweets even when she says she does. She says down there that tweets from Hillary are signed with -H. So basically, if you go on her Twitter, and if a tweet ends in -H, that means she wrote it. But there's emails here showing tweets that are discussed, and they have the -H on them. So basically, her staff goes around creating these tweets and passing them off as if they're Hillary's thought, which isn't all that surprising. I mean, I've assumed this forever. I mean, like, celebrities usually don't tweet their own tweets, but this just goes to show that they're pretty much liars. Whatever gets them the most publicity and votes, that's what they go with. So again, basically, staff discussed these tweets. They wrote drafts for the tweets and then eventually tweeted these things out under the guise of Hillary was actually the one who thought of it. So this one's actually really strange. It appears to be an anti-German email to a bunch of Politico journalists, and I mean, I don't know why this email is here or who it came from. I mean, I'm just trying to get this news out as fast as possible for you guys. I'm sort of more to direct you to these places. I have the source down at the bottom if you want to read the whole thing. I went through it, and it's basically just this guy just taking it out on Germans, and I don't really know why. I mean, he just doesn't like Germans, and he apparently kind of just loves Jews, because he goes on about how good Jews are and how they make up such a small portion of the population, yet they're the CEOs, the doctors, and all those successful people. Again, I would encourage you to look at the email for yourself, because this doesn't really tie into Hillary, but it just shows that what goes on behind closed doors. All these journalists are having a good laugh at this guy that's just trash talking Germans. And here's what I think is the most substantial email so far. I mean, they leaked like 50,000, so it's going to take a long time for people to actually parse through each email to see what connects with what or what incriminates someone. So basically, parts of her page speech leaked through this email, and it goes on to say a lot of stuff. Like, she says something about how you need a private and public policy, how she only actually held Wall Street accountable for political reasons, which goes directly against everything she says in public. I mean, she's trying to shill for these progressive votes by saying she's going to go after Wall Street, or that she's always been hard on Wall Street. You can look it up. Or if you've just paid attention, you know that one of her main points to try to get Bernie voters and more progressive voters is that she's going to go after Wall Street. But in one of these Wall Street speeches, she says that she doesn't really hold them accountable, and she also admits that she needs their funding. So I think this is pretty huge. I mean, one of these paid speeches that she never wanted to reveal to the public actually got out, and now we know why she didn't want to reveal them, is because she basically says the opposite behind closed doors as opposed to what she says in public. So you can go through that one too. I have the source for that one down at the bottom. And again, it's just going to take time for people to go through these, find out what's interesting, find out what's nothing, what's just fluff and all that. For one of the final two things so far, and I'll make an update video if there turns out to be more stuff. I'm sure these aren't the best things so far. I mean, there's got to be more to come. These were literally just leaked about 30 minutes ago from making this video, and this is what I've found through my research so far. A quick plug here, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'll actually tweet out what things I find that are substantial, and you'll be the first to know because it's a lot easier than making a whole video on it. But anyways, basically for this email, she says that she's going to use an executive order to get around a gun show loophole. She's also said she's going to impose manufacturer liability. Now, both of these things aren't really surprising knowing her position, but for her to outright say that she's going to use an executive order and she's going to hold these gun manufacturers liable, I mean, those are just kind of pretty extreme things on their own. And the last one I want to cover, I think this really goes to show that things are just not how they seem. Like, people put on a fake face for almost everything. So if one of your friends ever says, oh, that's just fake, that's a conspiracy, that will never happen, just show them this video, this part right here. Anyways, this email is two Clinton staffers talking about how they want to get this quote out. So what they wanted to do was to get a donor to leak it or to give it to a reporter. And this just shows, like, you see all these clickbait articles, you see all these hit pieces and all this attack stuff. I mean, this is very coordinated. It's not like one journalist sees something. It's really controlled by the people behind each campaign. They'll intentionally put stuff out or try to focus on one thing or the other. So yeah, it just proves that intentional leaks are definitely a thing. I think they happen far more often than people would like to assume. Again, just if you want more updates, check back here. If there's more emails that show more substantial stuff, I'll definitely make a video. Follow me on Twitter to see them almost instantly because, again, videos take a long time. Anyways, if you guys find anything else, just leave it in the comments and I'll include it in the next video. And that's gonna do it. I'll see you next time.
Now which way do we go is the question.